So if we total up all of this, it comes to a total of 40 hours every week. Hi, do you find yourself saying, I don't have enough time for this, or only if I had more time? Me, as a family man with an infant and working full-time as a risk manager and having a YouTube channel, I cannot afford to waste a single minute. Time is a very precious commodity, which once spent, you cannot get it back. In this video, I want to share 9 strategies that have worked out for me and saved me 40 hours every week. The first strategy that I use is whenever I'm explaining something to somebody, may it be at work or outside work, and I know that this person might come back to me with more explanations or anything, I tend to over-explain it. I just leave nothing untouched. I just go into every detail as much as possible. So how this saves me time is, in the future, like if they have some doubts or anything, they generally come back to me and ask something, or they set up a meeting, or I have to set aside some time for them. And this takes up time for both of us. Like we both have to sit down, re-engage about the task, and then I have to explain to them what it any clarifications if I have to do. So if I don't have to do this, I save up a lot of time. I mean, not just for me, for them as well. So the opportunity cost of this strategy, the time saved is, I'm assuming around 10 to 15 interruptions a week, and it takes around 10 minutes for me to re-engage and get back into the zone, etc. So 10 minutes is spent over there, and around 10 to 15 minutes explaining the task itself. So in a week, I save around 5 hours using this strategy. Let's get to the next one. So the next strategy that I use is prioritizing tasks. So I know you might have heard of this a lot, like prioritize your tasks, it saves a lot of time. Let's assume like I have 10 tasks to do, and 2 of them are very important, and let's assume 6 are not so important and 2 are totally unimportant. It might be the case that the unimportant tasks, or the medium important tasks you could say, are interesting. What could end up happening is I start this medium important or not so important task, and then I don't get to the important tasks because I get so interested in it that I'm in it so much that I forget about them. So what I do is, whenever I have a list of tasks, I try to prioritize them and do the most important tasks first. Maybe the unimportant tasks are not even necessary to be done, and they're just like small checks or whatever, but I found myself more than once I get lost into these unimportant tasks, wasting a lot of time. So to put an opportunity cost on this, assuming I spend 10 hours every week on unimportant tasks, and half of them were not required at all, I save around 5 hours per week. Let's get to the next one. So the third strategy that I use is batching work. So when it comes to work, there are different types of work. Maybe it's sending emails, doing some analysis, delegating some work, having meetings, etc. So what I try to do is, if there are work involved which are very similar in nature, I try to batch them. For example, I have to reply to some email, I have to reply to some Slack messages. What I do is I batch them all together in one part of the day. And if I have to do some analysis work, I try to batch them in one part of the day. Switching from one task to another takes up mental energy and takes some time to switch between the tasks to get into the zone again. So the opportunity cost saved by batching, I assume I save around 5 transitions per day, moving between tasks. So that's 10 minutes every task, that is 50 minutes every day, which comes to around 4 hours every week. That's a lot of time. Let's get to the next one. If you're liking this video till now, a cheeky thumbs up would be really helpful. Let's go on. So the next one is a pretty simple one. Sorry if there's too much noise, there's some traffic and then some wind blowing over here at this floor. Hopefully you can hear me clearly. So the next point is, I try to use templates whenever possible. That is, if I have a report or if I have some kind of analysis and I want to present it to somebody, or an email that I have to send, having a specific template for each of these tasks makes it easy for me. I don't have to think through, okay, what all I have to put in this report, what should I be writing, what graphs are involved here, XYZ. Surprisingly, I've noticed this has saved me a lot of time. So especially in one report which I have to send every week, it's a risk report for the whole team, takes up a lot of time. So earlier I noticed myself spending like 3 to 4 days on this report, gathering all the information required, etc. But since I've had this template, I've noticed it just takes me 1 day of sitting down and doing the work. Not even 1 day, maybe half a day, if the report is simple enough. I have another template, assigning of tasks, so I have a template for that as well. So these 2 things have combinedly saved me around 7 hours per week. I was just surprised when I was doing this calculation myself that it saves me so much time per week. Let's get to the next one. I'm outside now. There's a bit of a noise. Sorry for that. So the next one is basically taking short walks in between work. I find myself taking more and more walks these days, every 2 hours roughly. And this has helped my productivity a lot. So I feel more relaxed after taking a walk. I don't feel as much tired, I don't feel that stress. So I feel like if I spend too much time sitting on my desk for too long, I feel less productive. Like the tasks don't get done the same amount of time as if I take a short walk and I come back. So I take around 10 minutes of walk every 2 hours. So another thing I've noticed is, like, whenever I have to go for a prayer, it's really nice. Like it's a short walk, it's a small break. I get into the mosque and it's very peaceful there. And then once I get back to work, it's easier to get back in the zone and continue work. Because it would feel like, if I'm spending 10 minutes every 2 hours, I'm losing time. I did some rough calculations on how this might be improving my productivity. But research says that taking short breaks improves productivity. So assuming it improves productivity by 20% every 2 hours, so I would be saving 48 minutes every day. Actually, it comes to around 4 hours every week. I'm just checking my calculations. And on top of this, there's another added benefit. So I realized that whenever I take these breaks throughout the day during my work, and when I'm done with the work day and I reach home, I'm much less stressed or much less tired after work. I've come to realize this very recently because I never noticed this before. And when I was doing research for this video, it did hit me that yes, this is true. Like, after taking breaks at work, even if it's small as 10 minutes, like when I reach home, I don't have to, take that 30 minutes to unwind, to relax. So I would even add these 30 minutes to my time saved. So these 30 minutes add up to 2.5 minutes every week. So this is a big time saver. So in total, it saves me around 6.5 hours every week. So it's a very good one. So let me come to my next step. So the next method that I use is when I find myself coming back to repetitive tasks, what I do is I try to build a system for them. So maybe it's assigning tasks to my team. Maybe it's some kind of analysis that I'm doing. I'm coming back a lot to my analysis, yeah? There's a lot of analysis in my task. Maybe it's something else that I'm doing repetitively. So what I do is I build a system for it. Like, for example, when I'm assigning tasks to my team, I have built a system where I sit for 1 hour every Monday, where I decide what task needs to be done by each member of the team and XYZ. I have a system for it rather than me, thinking, oh, wow, this task needs to be done XYZ. Instead of spending, 2 hours, I end up spending only 1 hour. So this is a simple way where I save this time. Another way where I save time with this is something that takes 2 hours for me. If I have a system, if I have a pre-built script, if I have a boiler template for my code, it takes me much less time. On average, I would say I'm saving 2.5 hours every week due to the opportunity cost of time. So the next one is pretty simple, but it's not related to my work, but it's related to my personal life. If you have seen my previous video on this, I wear the same t-shirt every day and I have very similar set of pants. So I don't have to make this decision every day of what to wear and what goes well with which. And I've pre-decided on my wardrobe and I wear this every day. These clothes are comfortable to me. I just have 2 pairs. And whenever I go for shopping, I don't have to spend time on deciding what to buy, what not to buy. I have a set wardrobe, I just buy it. According to my calculations, if I say I spend 10 minutes on deciding what to wear, I would say I'm saving around 1.5 hours per week. Heading back home now. It was a good walk. I'll see you on the next one. So the next strategy that I've implemented is improving my typing speed. So over the past few months, I've improved my typing speed from 40 words per minute to 60 words per minute. And this has shown tremendous results. So if I do some rough calculations, me spending 30 to 45 minutes per day typing, and if I reduce it by 50%, so this potentially saves me around 1.5 hours per week. So on top of this, what I've noticed is, with my improved typing speed, earlier my thought used to go at a faster pace than my typing. We think much faster than we type. But me improving my typing speed has led to my typing speed catching up to my thoughts process. So this has also saved me some time in, like rethinking and forgetting, etc. So the amount of time it takes me to draft a message or something, that also has come down. So I would put that Also roughly around 30 minutes per week. So this brings the total opportunity cost saved through time by around 2 hours per week. I got into this because I just wanted to improve my typing, but I didn't realize, if I do the crude calculations, that this saves me more time than I thought about. So the last point I've written down over here that saves me time is pretty simple actually. So we've moved closer to the office. So before this, I used to spend a lot of time in traffic. I used to spend at least 2 hours every time I come to office, both ways. So that used to cost me around 6 hours per week. And on top of that, I'm getting tired, we are spending more money on fuel, etc. So it's an obvious one, move close to your office, but sometimes it's not a choice for everybody. And generally, the rents closer to office are much higher than further away from office. So money-wise also, it's a bit more expensive for us at least that we move closer to this. But saving 6 hours every week, it might sound small, but trust me, since I've moved here 2 months back, and it's been a boon. I can come home for lunch, etc. There are many benefits, but the biggest one is the time and the energy saved in transit. This one, it's not just for me, even my wife works very close to this house and it saved her time as well. But since I'm counting only for me, so I would give this 6 hours every week. So if we total up all of this, it comes to a total of 40 hours every week. It's a lot of time. I didn't think about this, coming up to 40 hours, it's a lot. 40 hours is a full-time job, somebody doing 40 hours. And if I'm saving this, it means I'm saving worth of a full-time job. But obviously, since I'm at a senior position at my job, I'm expected to do a much more and to manage my time very well. And it is very crucial, especially if you're going up in career, not just in career, even in your personal life, it's important to manage your time and to identify where your time is being spent. Treat it as a very precious commodity. Once the time goes by, it doesn't come back. You cannot get it back, and you have a very limited commodity. As Ali Abdul puts it, it's a non-renewable resource. So I have a bonus one for you, like I promised in the beginning of the video. The thing that saves me most amount of time in my life, it's not all of this, it's delegating work. So as a manager, I delegate a lot of work at my home. I delegate it to the help we have at home. For example, I don't cook all my meals. Most of my meals are cooked for me. This saves me a lot of time. I don't have to spend 1 to 2 hours cooking every day or however long. I don't clean my room, most of the time at least. I don't clean my room, hall or etc. I don't clean the house. It's taken care of by somebody else. So I don't have to spend that time on that. And at work, I don't have to spend all this time, analyzing everything for my portfolio. So instead of spending, 10 hours, 15 hours on this analysis, I might be spending 1 or 2 hours. So this obviously sounds, like a lot of time saved, but this is necessary. At my position, it's important that I delegate and save that time because my time is valued more than somebody else's, and obviously they're getting compensated for it. My house help, she gets compensated for it. My juniors, they get compensated for it. It's not they're doing it for free or anything. So saving time is all and well, but sometimes I find myself falling into procrastination. So check out this video to find out how I tackle procrastination. A like to the video and a subscribe to the channel would be very helpful. Goodbye.